welcome to another episode of the Proton Pack Podcast. I'm Kris, and with me always is the baby Yoda to my Mando, Tony. Say hey, Tony.
I like those odds.
Hey, everybody. It's good to be back. It's a Monday night. I think it's the third quarter into the Raiders-Saints game as we record this, and we are live on the Book of Face and YouTube or wherever you're streaming this evening. So, yeah.
It would be one of those two places. That's all people have to choose from at this point. But if you guys aren't listening to this on podcast, just know that we do this show live. So if there are any technical hiccups, then you know what? You get the raw, unfiltered, uncensored version of what we do. And we are live, and you guys are more than welcome to join us at facebook.com/Proton Pack Podcast, or you can head over to YouTube and look for the Proton Pack there and watch it live with anybody else who's watching at the moment as well. Now, Tony, let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do every episode with shameless plugs.
Shameless plug time.
It's shameless plug time.
It is in these hills that Juan Valdez and his trusty goat gather coffee beans every morning. Yeah. Money is cool.
Money is cool.
Money is cool. I like money.
Yeah. Speaking of shameless plugs, we have Rough Riders, roughriders.org. It is my dog rescue 501c3 nonprofit. We concentrate on the transport of dogs from kill shelters out in the rural areas, bring them here to the more metro area of northern Nevada. Work with our local shelters and rescues to find them home, give them a second chance at life. Through this whole pandemic thing, we've been really sort of keeping our heads down and really just concentrating on the transport aspect of it. No real events or, anything that we normally do. We're just trying to get through this time. But the one need that we do have is donations. Obviously, we want to take care of our volunteers, our transport volunteers, make sure they're reimbursed for the gas that they use to go out and pick up those dogs. And so if you are willing to donate, and if you can donate, head over to roughriders.org or facebook.com/roughriderssaves. And we appreciate any tax-deductible donation there. Now, Tony, you do another pop culture show with a good friend of ours, Jimmy Jones, every Sunday called the Pop Culture Kaboom. If you wouldn't mind filling in our listeners about what that is and where they can find it.
Yeah, I do a little radio segment with my buddy Jimmy Jones, our buddy Jimmy Jones, and he's got a cool pop culture show on Sunday evenings from 7 to 9 Pacific time on knvc.org. That is also local, Carson City, 94.5 KNVC. You can stream it. He has everything from entertainment news, toy cons, comic cons, comic books. He has a new guest every week. He has local guests. He's got obscure actors, writers. He has a lot of stuff put together. Jimmy puts together a really fun show every Sunday night. I partake in the movie segment with him. We review horrible trailers because there's not a lot of movies out there. So we'll tell you, like this week, all of them were Touch Browns. They were all crap-ass movies that couldn't recommend to anybody. I mean, it's just basically if you were ever curious to know what else is coming out versus what normally doesn't. But 95.1 KMVC, Carson City Community Radio. It's knvc.org. Follow it, listen. It's good. And we'll talk some silly movies with you. And this week's was just really bad.
Well, you know what's not really bad is the radio show that you and I do every day, Tony. Called the Christian.
That's a good one.
Yeah, called the Christian Phoenix Radio Show. It is a daily show from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and so adjust accordingly based on the schedule there. But it is a daily variety show, as we like to call it, is your daily dose of laughs and levity. Yeah, we've got great call-in topics and subjects that we pull up, and recurring daily segments and weekly segments. Have a lot of fun putting it together and a lot of fun recording it, putting it out for you guys. Now, we are going through a little bit of a transition period right now, so there are no new episodes or best ofs this week. Next week will be a series of best ofs, and then we'll be back with brand new episodes starting August 5th. So that is a Monday.
October 5th.
October 5th.
We've moved on. It is September. Normally, you must be tired because you don't make boo-boos like that. That's normally my role, and you're usually fixing that for me. But yeah, everyone tune in. Just follow us on the Facebook, or if you're on Twitter or Instagram, you'll get the updates. We parted ways with America Matters Media, and we're moving on to bigger and better things.
We are.
Some big announcements coming out this week, and look forward to doing the show. It's a lot of fun with you. I mean, if you guys are watching this, unfortunately, I'm sure if you followed the show, we had lost our third co-host on there, Ryan. He ended up getting a job, which is awesome, and we lost him out. So it was you and me, and when we come back October 5th, it's still just you and me. But hopefully down the line that we'll have a third one, because that does make it easier so we don't have to run as many best ofs. So.
Yeah, it's nice to have that third voice. And, like Tony said, if he has to go to an appointment or something along those lines, we don't have to force a best of upon you. We can still continue a live show. But that's just one minor change. We've got some big things coming down the pipeline. If you want to learn more, head over to facebook.com// Christian Phoenix Radio. That's Christian with a K, Phoenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R. Well,
and it's Tony with a T, S with an S, and PP as in PPO.
Something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Well, that does it for our shameless plug. We've got a fun show lined up for you today here on Pop Culture, not Pop Culture Kaboom. That's Jimmy's show.
Wow, that's Jimmy's show. Hey, everything you want, everything you need. Jimmy Jones, Pop Culture Kaboom. This is 95.1 KMBC.
This is the Proton Pack Podcast. We've got lots of TV news, a little bit of movie news, and a lot of video games. So let's kick on with it. Tony, go ahead and get that button ready for TV news as we start out each and every show.
Zinga. Oh! The cream of the crop!
Hey, baby.
Let's go, Bob.
Excellent.
Hail to the king, baby.
All right, so kicking off TV news is our favorite little mouse, our little favorite rodent. Yes, we're talking Mickey Mouse, and he has a new animated series.
Oh, I thought you were talking Bucky Beaver. Whoa!
Nice shirt. Nice that you can pull that up by the shirt tone.
Yeah, I like that,
But in any case, Mickey Mouse has a new animated series coming to Disney+. So the mouse that started it all is getting some new cartoons on Disney+ later this year. On Monday, Disney announced that a new series of animated shorts starring the one and only Mickey Mouse would be arriving on the popular streaming service in November, on the day of the iconic character's birthday. Wednesday, November 18th, we'll see the premiere of The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse, developed by the same Emmy-winning team that created the Disney Channel's Mickey Mouse cartoon shorts. That first day, we'll see the arrival of the first two shorts in the series on Disney+. 9 days later, on November 27th, you get 2 additional shorts that will be released. New shorts will be released on Fridays, with 10 total shorts slated to arrive in 2020. There will be 10 additional shorts released next summer. Now, the previous Mickey Mouse cartoon series kicked off on Disney Channel in 2013 and aired 96 episodes over the course of 5 seasons. The series won 7 Primetime Emmy Awards, 2 Daytime Emmy Awards, and 21 Annie Awards. All 5 seasons are currently streaming on Disney+. Now, Tony, is this something you're looking forward to, or are you going to pass on the mouse?
My old boy was great. I'm definitely, I'm excited for a little Mickey Mouse. Stop.
Look.
I get the Annabelle! Get up, you son of a bitch!
That does not Mickey Mouse. All right. Anyways, that said, Mickey Mouse, I hit it. I didn't anticipate to say you son of a bitch, but there you go. Oh, boy. That's Wacky Wednesday.
On a Monday.
It's not even Wednesday. It's a Monday. Yeah. Yeah, man. The only thing I don't like about the new Mickey Mouse stuff is I don't like Mickey's voice. I think the new Mickey voice is kind of annoying. I feel like he screams a little more.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's still like that high pitch. But it's more like hey, Minnie!
It's a little more Ren and Stimpy, a little less Mickey Mouse, right?
Yeah. But I mean, the humor is great though. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's good. like we talked about on the Phoenix show. And I know Lacey wants me to say the Phoenix and the Fox show. Fox, F-A-W. Fawkes show. We talked about it. Mickey had been kind of a little overexposed and gave him a rest. And this will be a good time to come back. Anything fresh in the new year is going to be a welcomed view for everybody involved.
Yeah, those shorts, I mean, from 2013 were hilarious. A lot of good adult humor. The animation style was a good throwback to the old Steamboat Willie sort of days. Not sure if this version's going to look any different, feel any different, if the humor is going to be any different. I hope it's not, because I think they hit the nail on the head. And like you said, the voice was a little strange, but maybe they'll bring in a new voiceover artist for it.
Yeah, well, that unfortunately, when you have an iconic character and the originals, are no longer able to, or they're no longer with us to do the voice, you kind of have to get used to something that's similar but a little different.
Right.
But yeah, and it just sometimes if you grew up on it, you catch it a little more. I don't know why that is.
And of course, Disney, if you are listening, Tony is available to do the voice of Mickey Mouse, just in case you need something a little bit closer than what
I will actually practice it more than just wait. That probably wasn't even my best one.
All right, Tony, moving on to the next story. So what goes hand in hand with Mickey Mouse? Any thoughts?
Like something on the tip of my tongue. I just don't know.
Well, if you said The Walking Dead, yes, you would be correct. No, they don't go hand in hand.
I'm trying like different sound bites in between and muting, but it's not working so well.
Some weird ones there.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to add different ones, and I just type in Walking Dead, and that's hoping like you get sound bites from Negan and stuff, but not so much.
Right. Sometimes they go for 3 minutes, and you don't
expect
it.
Yeah, it's like that Steamboat Willie one that was going for like 475 days. Jeez.
All right. Well, moving on from Mickey to The Walking Dead, AMC and Twitch have announced The Walking Dead Universe, a new Twitch channel offering original content, watch-alongs, and interactive experiences set around The Walking Dead universe. The new channel will premiere Sunday, September 20th, so actually yesterday, and we'll have a launch party stream followed by a Walking Dead catch-up where hosts will lead fans through select episodes of The Walking Dead Season 10, Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, with real-time reactions as they watch and interact with the community leading up to the much-anticipated premiere of episode 1016 on October 4th. Now, going forward, the channel will aim to air 12 hours of original content a week, including watch-alongs during episode premieres. Hosts include Clark Wolf, Renetta Renee, and Dylan Gabriel Guerra. Quote, as the storytelling and characters that span the Walking Dead universe continue to grow, so do the innovative ways we reach and engage with fans, both old and new, across social media and popular new platforms like Switch, said David Beck, Executive Vice President and Head of Programming Strategy and Business Operations for AMC Networks. Sunday nights on Twitch are audience first and fan-centric, and we are all thrilled at this opportunity to build something new for passionate fans of the Walking Dead universe, giving them a new community to celebrate the universe, channel their enthusiasm, and express their fandom. Tony, is this something you're going to tune in on, or is this something where it's a little too interactive for you?
It would have. I was thinking as you were reading that. I think they're late to the party with this. This would have been really awesome. Like during the height of the season, like if you could have done this back when like Beth died, or maybe like Lori died, and then you were watching it with other people and you got the legit reaction, or the one where Negan, ended up nailing Abraham and then turn around and taking out Glenn, and you would have been like, oh, that would have been, the reactions would have been great. I don't know about going back and watching it because what happens. I mean,
right.
The shock and awe element of it's gone. You already know the story. could it work for the last season or this the final episode? They're going to stretch into 2 episodes or whatever. That would be actually pretty fun to watch because they're going to kill off some characters. Spoiler alert: it won't be Daryl and it won't be Carol. I'm just telling you because AMC's already chose to spoil that for us. Yep. So, I just late to the party, but still cool. So that for the diehards that are still in love with this show and it can do no wrong, there are a lot of spin-off shows coming up with The Walking Dead, hence the universe. So I think that's going to be really great for the fan base. However, I wouldn't consider myself a diehard Walking Dead guy anymore. I like the show, but it's spun off into too many weird things for me. It's just.
Yeah.
See, it is what it is.
Yeah, they should have wrapped up the original series a couple seasons ago. Fear the Walking Dead I haven't watched since season 2. This new one might be interesting, and, if it is as good as I hope it is, then it might be an opportunity to jump on this Walking Dead Universe Twitch channel. But other than that, I agree with you. I think it's a little too late. When it was at the height of its popularity, that would have been perfect, as opposed to maybe The Talking Dead, where they talk about the episode afterwards, but there's no real fan interaction.
Yeah, when I loved Talking Dead with Hardwick after that was always one of my favorite things to watch, especially after a shocking episode. I mean, it was nuts because usually that person that got whacked was the guest, and they were good. They didn't spoil who the guest was going to be, so it's just one of those things that it's just disappointing in some sense of just too little too late. And I was reading, it's not about the surviving the walkers anymore. It's about surviving the evil guy or the next bad guy. Yeah, I agree, Lace. That's and we welcome the interaction. If you're watching live, please chime in Facebook. You can text us, whatever. We'll read your comments. That's what seems to be the focus. And that's now it's just no big thing. You have 10 million walkers. No big deal. We'll get through that. But I'm worried about the one bad guy over there.
Right. And that's what it's always been to some degree is, what's worse, the monsters that are trying to, eat you as a horde, or the human monsters that, are doing things that you can't fathom. But they did a nice balance before of the two, whereas now it's, the walkers are just sort of an afterthought. They're just sort of a nuisance. And you're right, it's concentrating on the one guy. And, you might not even make it a zombie show at this point just because they are a little bit of an afterthought.
Yeah, they're just kind of there anymore. It should have been one of those shows that should have just been limited. They could have kept making new different series, but the original one should have just been limited.
Right. New characters, new timelines, whatever it may be. But, we do see the original one wrapping up, but not till 2022. So it's going to be a while. But in any case, we'll move on from The Walking Dead to our next story here. Now, DC Fandome, we talked about the first one that they did last month in August. And... which was great. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of great TV news. There was some video game news, and of course the movie news that came out of it. Well, they did part 2, not this past weekend, but 2 weekends ago on the 12th. And there was a lot of TV specific news that came out of that. So I wanted to run down some of the TV news that came through there. For instance, the show Pennyworth, which I want to say is on Epix. It's not a streaming service or channel that I'm a part of, but apparently it's pretty good. Well, the big scoop for season 2 is that Martha Kane is pregnant. Yes, Martha Kane is actually Martha Wayne, hence it can be true to say she has a bat in the oven. Doom Patrol, which is on HBOmax, it made the leap from DC Universe to HBOmax, has already been renewed for a 3rd season. I haven't got into that one yet, but it looks like a lot of fun. DC's Legends of Tomorrow, which is on the CW. In the series' upcoming 6th season, the Wave Rider will be picking up a brand new passenger as Lizeth Chavez joins the cast as Alien Authority Esperanza Spooner Cruz. Not familiar with that comic book character.
Esperanza Spooner Cruz!
Young Justice, the 4th season, is getting an upgrade titled Young Justice Phantoms. It has nothing to do with the Ben Affleck movie, and he was the Bombs and Phantoms show.
Affleck, you're the bomb in Phantoms, yo. Remember that time when we went to see Jay Leno's Tonight Show and you dared me to say it?
And
I
you
said
did.
It, and I got booted out?
Yep.
Good times.
Good times. And
I'm probably the only guy that, well, definitely the only 2 times we've gone to Tonight Shows. What happened to me both times? I got in trouble with the Tonight Show staff. Both times.
And then Lucifer, which looks like has one more season getting ready to go. I know it's Tony's new favorite show. They recently released a season 4 blooper reel, which is always fun. I got to take the time to go back and check it out, but I know you've been binge watching it like crazy, Tone.
Yep. It changes flavor. You can tell when season 4 starts because that's when it went to Netflix. The continuity, I can't say that word.
Continuity?
Yeah, the continuity between that, the whole storyline all flows nicely, but you can tell the flavor is a little different. And not that it's bad, but there's just, they could get a little edgier now because they're on Netflix.
Right.
But man, it is a good show. And they're wrapping it up with the season 6. So that'll be the final one. So at least we know that there's an ending, but this blooper reel is great. A lot of F-bombs. So if you're offended by the F word, probably don't watch it,
Right.
But it's just damn good because it's like real life. It's like when they screw up the lines, they're not afraid to mess it. But yeah, it's Lucifer's a bitchin' show, man. It is good. It is really good.
Well, I know that's the DC show that you've been binging on. The DC show I've been binging on is Harley Quinn. That's the animated series that's on HBOmax. It was originally on DCUniverse, but they're going away from the scripted series, keeping DCUniverse as more of a comic book resource. And luckily, all of those properties are coming over to HBOmax. So much fun. It's an R-rated, raunchy, bloody, animated comedy that, obviously the continuity isn't anywhere in the canon of the normal Batman universe, but they take some liberties. They have a little bit of fun. The voice cast is amazing, and just a funny show if you like raunchy comedy. Well, Harley Quinn has been renewed for a 3rd season at HBO Max, of course, rather than DC Universe. The news comes after Warner Brothers officially announced Friday that DC Universe will no longer be home to scripted original series and will instead transition to solely a comic book subscription service called DC Universe Infinite. Now, Harley Quinn, as I mentioned, is an adult animated series starring Kaylee Cuoco as the DC anti-heroine. The show has received strong reviews for its first 2 seasons, which recently became available on HBO Max. Along with Cuoco, the show also features the voices of Lake Bell, Alan Tudyk, Ron Funches, Tony Hale, Jason Alexander, and J.B. Smoove. The series was developed by Justin Halpern, Patrick Schumacher, and Dean Lowry, who also serve as executive producers along with Cuoco. And so, again, worth checking out, especially knowing now that there's a 3rd season on the horizon, and just more hilarity will ensue. Tony, have you had a chance to check it out yet?
No, I need. I'm going to steal a line from our old co-host. If anyone's got a DM to the HBO Max, just want to slide it in. I'll be more welcome to watch it with that. No, I don't have HBO Max.
I may know a guy who knows a guy, if you know what I mean.
You know a guy that knows a guy?
Yep.
Yes. I might be able to afford it here soon because Verizon just had a smoking deal with their plans. If you change, they have like now a all you can watch pass, and it's actually $5 cheaper than I was paying. Nice. So starting next month, I'll have Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus, all included with my phone bill. I'm paying $5 less, and I have it for the entire time I have a contract with Verizon. So it's just rolled into my phone bill every month. So
can't beat that.
Saves me $5. Yeah, no. Yeah. Got me some new streaming, so
yeah,
gotta love that.
It's funny because even with all of the streaming services that I'm a part of, it's still less than paying for cable. So
absolutely
nothing wrong there. Well, moving on from the world of DC over to the world of Marvel Television. So Marvel Television had a good setup on Netflix streaming service for a while. Characters like the Punisher, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Jessica Jones all had their own shows on Netflix, and most of them were brought together in the crossover series The Defenders. But then things fell apart, and as Disney-owned Marvel started focusing more on developing shows for their Disney Plus streaming service, well, Netflix started canceling their Marvel shows. Part of the deal between Marvel and Netflix was that Marvel would be able to use the characters from the shows for a period of 2 years, although some heard it was 18 months after the shows were canceled. Thankfully, the 2 years were nearly up for all of them. Marvel will already have access to Luke Cage and Iron Fist again as of next month, and the others won't be far behind. Of greatest interest to is Marvel having the option to revive The Punisher in film or television as of next February, since Marvel canceled The Punisher in February of 2019. Of course, just because Marvel will be able to use these characters again doesn't mean they're going to jump right on it, but we can hope. But then the question is, when we see the characters again, will there be any connection to their Netflix shows? My answer is, I think there might be. Now, I saw an article about a week ago that Charlie Cox was in talks to, pick up the Daredevil mantle again under the MCU, whether that's in movies or television. And if they do that, then there's a good likelihood that we'll see John Bernthal as Punisher again and Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones. My fingers are crossed that they'll bring these characters back and weave them into the MCU, considering they were already weaved into the MCU for the Netflix shows.
Yeah, I think they're great. I would love to have them back. I could do without about Iron Fist. I don't need him back.
Well, yeah. One
but
stinker out of the lot.
That whole thing, yeah. That was the only one that was kind of meh. But Luke Cage was even badass. I liked him too.
Mike Coulter, he did a great Luke Cage. And some of the villains that they had were fantastic. The one standout was the Purple Man, Kilgore from Jessica Jones season 1.
Oh, Kilgore was great.
So good. So with any luck, we will see them on the MCU side of things. But as we get that information, we'll update you guys. It's just a matter of time. Now, something that we do know is coming to Disney Plus. Disney confirmed Wednesday that Marvel's WandaVision is still coming to their coming to their Disney Plus streaming service this year. There was a lot of thought that it would be pushed back, but while there had been some concern that the series, which brings the Avengers franchise stars Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany as Wanda Maximoff and Vision respectively, might be pushed to 2021 due to production and release disruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. The press release and video for what's coming to Disney Plus later this year confirms WandaVision remains on their slate in 2020. And there's a new trailer that they dropped for WandaVision that looks weird and disorienting, and I don't know how it's all going to play together, but it's a lot of throwback to old 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s television. Yeah, what did you get from that trailer, Tony? Anything you can sort of pinpoint on the fate of the characters? We know Vision died in Infinity War. How all this is going to play into the larger MCU?
Yeah, I don't know how it's all going to play in the MCU. I'm kind of just guessing like they're inside Vision's head. Like that's just kind of, maybe they're trying to bring him back and it's just like the circuits in his head and that's what you're seeing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's definitely interesting. I do like the little nod to the old school comic book outfits that both him and Scarlet Witch are wearing.
Oh, totally.
I like that. And I don't know. I'll be watching it. It's very cool to see that we're finally getting, the Avengers that we know and love and from theater, from the big movies to actually be on these shows. Now, granted, they're not going to be like long-term sitcoms or series.
No.
They're just bonus stories that kind of tie everything to phase 4. We going?
It is.
Now?
Yep.
Yeah, phase 4. So it's very cool. I really liked it. Not sure what to expect of it, but the trailer's out. It's different. It looks. I'm excited to watch it, but it looks different.
Yeah, and folks, head over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Proton Pack Podcast.
It's on there.
Let us know what you think. If there's anything you grabbed from it that really sort of stands out to you. But knowing that this is coming in 2020, obviously that makes way for the next series, which is Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then we've got Loki coming after that. And so I'm glad to see that things are kind of back on track as far as the MCU timeline goes.
Yeah, it's definitely a interesting trailer. Definitely watch it. I think you'll be happy with it. You'll at least be intrigued by it.
Yeah, and it was a nice little drop. We weren't expecting to see the trailer. It kind of came out of the blue, and it looks interesting. Now, speaking of other trailers that came out recently that are really sort of exciting us is The Mandalorian. So sticking with Disney Plus, but heading over to the Star Wars side of things.
Star Wars and Baby Yoda.
I like those odds.
This is the way.
We got a trailer for season 2 of The Mandalorian, giving a little insight into what we're going to see without spoiling anything in particular. Now, we know that it is coming Friday, October 30th, which is just a little over a month from now. We're going to see characters we know and love, along with some new characters, perhaps Boba Fett, Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano. Not much more to say other than, this trailer gave me some good goosebumps, and looking forward to watching it the day it's dropped on October 30th.
Oh, absolutely. And they're going to do Mando Mondays, so they're going to be hyping it up leading up to there. So
very cool.
What I was going to say, too, is I thought that was Ahsoka Tano, like in the trailer, and I saw it when I watched the trailer again. That definitely wasn't her.
No.
It
But
was
maybe another Jedi character or Sith character. We don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, no. All I know is I'm excited. It looks awesome.
I agree. And we've got that posted up on our Facebook page too, so you can watch it there. Chime in, let us know what you think. Now, that does it for the TV news. Before we get to the weekend box office, let's talk about some Blu-ray releases that are dropping tomorrow, the 22nd. I don't think we have a soundbite for Blu-ray releases, do we?
We're just going to do this. This is your Blu-ray release. Are you ready? Okay. Yeah.
My name's Jeff.
There we go.
I was thinking maybe blue dot and D dot and blue and dot and D dot and...
Oh, there you go.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, it's no surprise that Blu-ray releases, there's nothing from new movies that are coming out, so there's a lot of digital remasters, Blu-rays that we hadn't seen before, and TV series that, their collections are being released. For instance, you have DC's Legends of Tomorrow, the complete 5th season, dropping on Blu-ray.
Ooh.
You have Brandon Lee's The Crow, which is probably the one and only good Crow. I wasn't a big fan of the sequels.
The sequels were terrible.
Okay.
You have the Rob Zombie trilogy of House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and Three from Hell. Three from Hell being the only one of those that I haven't seen yet, Tony. Have you?
No, I didn't see. You know what's funny? I didn't even see the Devil's Rejects either. So
no
I only
kidding.
saw House of a Thousand Corpses. It was okay. I don't know. I'm not a real. I like Rob Zombie as an artist, but I'm not really big on his movies.
Yeah, the House of a Thousand Corpses was a little more supernaturally, whereas Devil's Reject was more just a straight up like murder spree, and I assume that Three from Hell kind of continued along those lines. So
I was gonna say that one almost was like a split. I thought that was a sequel to that directly.
well, they're all sequels of one another. So they're all in the same universe, same characters, but the last two are a little less supernatural than House of a Thousand Corpses.
Gotcha. Remember we went through the House of a Thousand Corpses in California?
Yeah, with the giant
Good
inflatable vagina we had to enter
China
through.
that walked through? Yeah, that was awesome.
Those were
It was
good
a hell
times.
of a good time. Yeah.
Speaking of scary movie collections on
Get in my belly!
That was
Come
delayed.
on!
That was a delayed one.
on Blu-ray and digital, you have the Scream 3 movie collection. They didn't include
I
Scream
call
4.
BS on that because I've had that Blu-ray, that same exact one. I've had it for 3 years.
Well, this has bonus documentaries.
Oh no, so does mine.
You have
Exactly the same one. And why the hell isn't Scream 4 on there?
right? That sounds like a cash grab to me.
Yeah.
On 4K, you've got Full Metal Jacket. Great movie. Fantastic movie.
Gomer. Yeah, that was a really good movie.
Yep. Copland, which was actually a really good Stallone movie, has Harvey Keitel, my buddy Ray Liotta, and Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Worth checking out. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
Do we have a problem.
I remember when I was younger and a teenager, it was hilarious. I don't know if it still holds up.
No, but it does say on the box art that it's hilarious.
Okay. All right. A Wayans Brothers movie. You have Whiplash, which might as well be a psychological thriller. That's the Drummond movie.
Adrenaline starts to flow. Miles Teller's thrashing all around.
Different Whiplash tone.
J.K. Simmons is acting like a maniac.
That is true. And then finally you had Rick and Morty Season 4 collection. So if you're a Rick and Morty fan, go ahead and check that out on Blu-ray.
I like Rick and Morty, man. It's a weird show. I like it, though.
I've had a hard time getting into it. I don't know if the humor is just not quite right for me.
Yeah, it's a weird show.
It is a weird show. But in any case, that does it for Blu-ray releases.
Oh, you didn't want to talk about Christ stopped at Ebola?
I have no idea. I have nothing to contribute to that.
You just like stopped. You're like, and then you see Wanda and Vision smiling right next to it.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I'm going to skip that. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, but we won't get to do next week's, but looks like Mallrats is getting another re-release, like for the third time.
Yeah. For the longest time, you couldn't even find it on DVD. You could only find it on VHS.
Yeah. Because we won't have a show next week, so the following week you can go see The Elephant Man, Mallrats, Ghost Ship, if you remember that movie, Jaws. It's the 3-movie collection. It's Jaws 2, 3, and 4, all crappy sequels.
Why not include the original, right?
Yes, cash grab, and Wicked City, which I don't know anything about that, but there you go.
Who knows? All right, well, that does it for the Blu-ray releases. Let's move into movies and talk about the box office report for what that's worth. Go ahead and hit it, Tone, if you've got that button.
Good evening. It's time for the Filippo Fast Five. just kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, it's funny. You're... I don't know if you've got a setting out of whack on your Zoom tone, but sometimes when you do your sound drops, it mutes it out, thinking that something else is coming through. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I have no idea, brother.
All right. Well, it's no surprise that the sci-fi thriller Tenet continues trying to make the best of a bad situation, once again taking in the top spot at the box office for a third weekend at an estimated $4.7 million. So bringing the domestic total up to 36.1. Doesn't say what the overseas, let's see, worldwide we're looking 250 million. So they're getting close to probably making their money back at this point. But of course, it's probably not what they expected when they went into production, expecting, big audience, big movies, and, huge markets like Los Angeles and New York and Detroit being able to go see it. So it's making its money back, but nothing to write home about, that's for sure.
No, they probably, in hindsight, should have pushed it back, just like everything else.
Yep. Number 2 at the movies was The New Mutants with another 1.6 million, bringing its domestic total to 17.7. Probably one, again, if you hadn't seen it in the opening weeks in theaters, wait till it hits on-demand, digital, streaming, whatever it may be. There was a new movie that opened, I know nothing about, called Infidel. Third place with 1.5 million. Anything on your end with that one, Tone?
Yeah, it's got Jim Caviezel.
Jesus himself.
Jesus is in there, man. But as far as me knowing anything about it, no. So I can't even give it a fart button or nothing. I don't know anything about it.
In fourth place, the road rage thriller Unhinged with another 1.3 million, bringing it to 15.7 million. That's the one movie that's probably done the best for itself based on production.
Yeah, it's crazy. I haven't even seen it. I still haven't gone to go see it.
In fifth place, the Broken Hearts Gallery. Again, don't know anything about it with 800,000. We have
it's a romance flick, I think, and it's got the bad boy in it from Stranger Things.
Oh, okay. All right. Right up your alley, Tony.
But he cut his hair, and it's now a romance flick. Yeah. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what that one is.
All right. Sixth place, we had After We Collided with $305,000. Again, teen melodrama. That's all it says about it. We have the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, in seventh place with $210,000.
Sponge on the Run.
Number 8, Bill and Ted Face the Music with 188,000. And then finally, in 9th place, there's not even a 10th place because there's not that many movies. The Personal History of David Copperfield with $150,000. So that's your box office report. Taking a look, what do we have coming up? Anything opening in theaters?
We have,
Excellent!
no, it was supposed to be Greenland, but it got delayed. So your upcoming theatrical releases, unfortunately, are very limited. I saw advertisements for The Croods too during Monday Night Football tonight. So
and that's going to be in both theaters and premium video on demand. So if you don't want to take your kids out of the house, you don't have to.
Yeah, Kingsman got pushed. Greenland got pushed. I don't even know if there's this movie Ava coming out with Jessica Chastain. Rogue with Megan Fox already came on demand, so I don't think that's going to theaters. Jiminy Christmas. Like, I don't even know if October has anything. Let's see. Scrolling. Nothing on the docket.
They continue to push things back, and actually we're going to talk about a couple of those pushbacks here in just a minute. So in any case...
Yeah, the next one it shows is it's Hubie Halloween next with Adam Sandler. He's gonna be on Netflix on October 7th. It's Hubie Halloween with Adam Sandler.
And not even in the theaters, so
not even in the movie theater because it's so good they're gonna be on Netflix.
Well, that does it for the box office report. Tony, get that button ready and let's head on into the movie news.
Let's do this, Doug.
You the keymaster.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
We came, we saw, we kicked his ass.
This baby hits 88 miles per hour. I gotta see some serious shit.
All right, well, kicking off the movie news, talking a little bit about the box office. If the math adds up, then the following report contains some interesting data as it pertains to the U.S. movie release model. It appears that Mulan has pulled in more money to date with its U.S. premium Disney Plus video on demand model with a hefty price tag of $29.99 than Tenet's entire overseas box office haul. Now, nothing is official here since the Mulan VOD numbers aren't out for all to see just yet, but Yahoo is currently reporting huge numbers for Mulan, saying that nearly 29% of U.S. Disney Plus users that accessed the app between September 1st to September 12th purchased the $30 Mulan film. Given this, it would appear that Mulan has pulled in $261 million for the U.S. markets alone. Disney reports that the streaming platform has over 60 million global subscribers. If it's assumed that U.S. households make up 50% of that total base, then roughly 9 million users bought Mulan total. Now, meanwhile, per Variety, Tenet crossed the 250 million mark this weekend globally. It's in the U.S. with limited releases and theaters at limited capacity. That the film is struggling the most as it earned 4.7 million, as we reported, bringing the North American total to 36.1 million to date. Now, Tony, before the whole Mulan video on demand release, we had some concerns about the price point, but it doesn't look like that really turned people away from buying the movie and maybe dooming the movie theater markets if this thing continues on for too much longer.
Yeah, man, this is actually kind of, I didn't think I'd be able to say this, but I think I see Black Widow going this route. I don't even know if Black Widow, they may still make it to theaters. I don't know. But after seeing the success of this, I mean, I really didn't think people would buy it at $30, but
I didn't either.
They're doing it. Obviously, they're making their money.
And Mulan is one of.
I guess if you justify taking a family of 4, this all goes back to taking groups of families. $30 is a great deal when you think about it. It's just for somebody like myself or you. I mean, $30 is steep for a movie,
right? Just for one of us, or even two of us to watch together.
Yeah, even if it's not good, then you can watch it again. But if it's bad, oof.
Right.
just paid $30 to own this wolf of a movie. So,
well, and
you know,
Mulan is one of those movies that sort of toes the line between family kid movie and adult movie, you know, big blockbuster. And, you know, I'd said before that, you know, Trolls World Tour, when it was the first premium video on demand movie, that probably did well because of the fact that it's a kids movie. Parents don't want to take the kids out. It's easy enough to do that. Mulan's a little bit, you know, more of an adult movie, but at the same time, it's not, you know, the adult big action blockbuster that like Tenet is. I don't know if Tenet would fare so well being straight premium video on demand, because it's not a movie I would necessarily buy for my living room.
No. Now, if you got a good price for it, then maybe. Because you think about it, if you released it at $20, you'd probably drive some sales. Now, if you did Black Widow at $30, you're going to get the Marvel fan base. Obviously, if it's something I'm going to own, if I can get it in 4K, watch it anytime, then I'll probably pay it, because I typically buy just the Marvel hard case movies, which are close to that anyways,
Right.
but it comes with the digital and physical copy. So it wouldn't be out of the realm to pay it. So I would just look at it as like, oh, cool, I get to own it, and I'm going to have to watch it at home
Yeah.
I have to wrap my brain around actually not going to the theater to see it. But
Well, and Black Widow would be a tough one, just because I'm a Marvel fan, and if that's the only way to see it, then yeah, I'm probably going to shell out $30.
yeah, exactly.
But if it's
Unless you know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy.
right, but
But you know, if you want it in that true crisp 4K format, then
yeah, but if they released it in both theaters and video on demand, then I'm getting my ass to the theater to watch it, because that's a movie you have
absolutely.
to see in that environment with the big surround sound. But I don't know. I don't know what movie theaters are going to look like past all of this, and you know, if they're just going to opt to go.
it's so weird to me. It's open. We were so excited to get open, but you know, and I'm not judging anybody. We just like our radio show, this podcast. We don't talk politics. We don't talk BS. We don't judge anybody. It just, you know, a lot of us like to go to movies, and obviously not everybody's ready to go back to the theaters yet. It was pretty adamant every time I went. It was pretty dead.
Yeah,
So
same here.
it wasn't a packed house. Yeah.
So we will see, but we'll keep you guys updated. Now, moving on from Mulan and Tenet and box office to a little bit smaller screen, smaller budget, and our buddy Kevin Smith. Well, it looks like Ben Affleck has actually requested a bigger role in Kevin Smith's Mallrats sequel, which Tony just mentioned is getting another digital redo
Snoochie boochie noochies.
that you can pick up next week. So Kevin Smith is in the process of developing a sequel to Mallrats that is slated to bring much of the original cast back, including Ben Affleck, who played Shannon Hamilton in the first film, the archenemy of Brody Bruce, played by Jason Lee, who also happens to be dating Bruce's ex-girlfriend. Now, Mallrats was one of Affleck's first major films, and the actor would go on to star in, or at least cameo, in several of Kevin Smith's other movies. But they had something of a falling out that left many of Smith's recent projects Affleckless. The pair have since reunited, with Affleck even making a cameo appearance in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, and it would seem that Affleck has personally requested a bigger role in the Mallrats sequel. Now, Tony, you and I were obviously big Mallrats fans when it originally came out. You know, seeing Affleck go on to bigger things, have, you know, even his career kind of exploded, died, exploded again. It'll be good to see him. Now, my only hope is that Kevin Smith sort of avoids the pitfalls of what he ran into with Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. You know, really just making it a nostalgia fest as opposed to, you know, a new story, keeping it fresh, having fun with it. I don't know. What do you think? Are you looking forward to a Mallrats sequel, Tone?
No, I'm gonna say no.
Wow.
I'm not really. The reason why is because, like you said it best, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. It was just okay. Dumb and Dumber 2 was just okay. Bill and Ted 3, while I did enjoy it, wasn't as good as the other two in my opinion. But that's okay. For some people it is. And I loved Mallrats. I think Mallrats was fantastic. Will I watch it? Sure. Am I excited that they are going to do it? Yeah, but I just don't have high hopes for it. I think it's going to fall in those pitfalls of just movies that wait too long to do it. Now, it's not always true for everything. Bad Boys 3 is an exception to the rule.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is good. I agree, Lacey. The Mallrats, she's excited. It did have the best storyline. It was awesome. It was funny. It really tied the View Askew universe close.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that one I'd be excited for. She chimed in and said Clerks 3.
Yeah.
Sign me up for Clerks. I'd be down with Clerks 3 because Clerks 2 is fantastic.
Oh, totally.
So, yeah, I'd be down with the Clerks 3 versus Mallrats. But if we have some fun with it, we'll see.
Now, I do have this to say about Kevin Smith's movies. Even with Jay and Silent Bob reboot, his comedies are way better than the horror movies that he has attempted.
Yeah, I don't want to see no Tusky Rusky, man.
No Tusk 2, no Red State 2. So I guess if we are getting a Kevin Smith sequel, Mallrats is probably the best way to go. Unless
I'm happy that they are. Yeah, this one was actually supposed to come together a while ago. Do you remember before Jay and Silent Bob reboot, he had like everybody back. He had Stan Lee back. He had everybody but Affleck was the only one he didn't have.
Yeah, as far as I understand, it went through some rights issues because New Line Cinema still owned part of the rights, and so. But I think he's got everything back in his camp now. So we'll see. Good. And with any luck, it won't be the. Like I said, Jay and Silent Bob reboot started out so well and then just sort of fizzled by the end. But it is what it is.
It was still fun.
Yep. All right, moving on to the world of DC news and, of course, movies being pushed back. It's no surprise that Wonder Woman 1984 is now set to premiere in December, 1 week after Dune. So the the inevitable has happened, folks. Warner Brothers is pushing the release of Wonder Woman 1984 from its October 2nd release to December 25th, yes, Christmas Day.
The way you said October, you made me think of the three-nipple lady from Mallrats. Somewhere between this and October. Sorry, I digress.
Nice little callback.
You took me back. Sorry, brother. I got distracted.
And hopefully this
is the third. It's the third nipple. It gets them every time.
Hopefully this is the last time that we see the movie move. But says director Patty Jenkins says, first and foremost, words are hard, folks. First and foremost, let me say how much Gal and I love all our devoted Wonder Woman fans around the world, and your excitement for Wonder Woman 1984 couldn't make us happier and more eager for you to see the movie. Because I know how important it is to bring this movie to you on a big screen when all of us can share in the experience together. I'm hoping you won't mind waiting just a little bit longer. With the new date on Christmas Day, we can't wait to spend the holidays with you. And then Warner Brothers chairman Toby Emmerich added, Patty Jenkins is an exceptional filmmaker, and with Wonder Woman 1984, she has delivered an incredibly dynamic film that moviegoers of all ages around the world will absolutely love. We're very proud of the film and look forward to bringing it to audiences for the holidays. So, we'll wait. I guess I gotta wait. December, isn't too far away.
Yeah.
At least it's been.
No, it's not too far. Yeah. 5 days after your birthday. I think it looks good. I really was surprised. The first Wonder Woman was enjoyable.
It was.
I saw that in Kearney, Nebraska with the Yendras, and it was a great movie. I enjoyed it. Actually, I saw it with Mike. Lacey didn't go. But I digress. The new movie looks just, I like that it takes place in the 80s. I'm curious to see how they bring back Chris Pine's character. And it's going to be DC's on the right track. And I think it's smart. I think marketing wise, it's really good. It gives you something to watch on Christmas Day, man. That's tradition.
Right. Yeah. Now, at the same time, if they had done like a Thanksgiving holiday release, I think that would have been a little bit better than pushing it 2 months back. But,
That's why I hope Black Widow holds true and just opens on Thanksgiving. I think that would be fun.
Yeah. Fingers crossed that that's the case. But in any case, we'll see it eventually, whether it's on video on demand in theaters. But we will keep you updated as we know. Now, finally, moving on to our final story in movie news, which is a little bit of video game news as well. Well, this news has come out of nowhere, but it's been confirmed that a new Super Mario movie is in the works and set to be released on the big screen in 2022. Believe it or not, this announcement was unearthed by Games Radar in Nintendo's
Mario!
corporate management policy briefing. That's the delayed sound effects there. The report confirms that the CG Super Mario movie is scheduled for theatrical release in 2022 and that production is moving ahead smoothly. There's some top-tier talent working behind the scenes, including Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto, who also dreamt up Donkey Kong and Zelda, and the founder of Illumination, Kris Meledandri, and of course it's the studio behind the Minions movies, Despicable Me, among others. Something we knew was sort of in the works, didn't know if it was official. We know it's official.
Super Mario RPG.
What
I did not hit that one. Oh my gosh, it's coming up for us. I didn't touch that one. I don't know what that was. I'm just glad it didn't play one that says Mama Effer or Mario Effer.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, I'm a Mario and I'm gonna win.
But in any case, like I said on the Christian Phoenix radio show, this can't be any worse than that garbage Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo 1984 Super Mario movie. I'm looking forward to this. You, Tone?
Here we go!
Whoa!
That was definitely the wrong soundbite. This is why it's good to not hit these freely because you don't know what the hell they're going to be. But yeah, I'm excited for it, man. Especially if it's done by Illumination, it's going to be really good, really good.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get some good voice talent out of it. Super Mario, Luigi, they got to sound like Super Mario and Luigi. You can't have Owen Wilson doing Super Mario. Find somebody who can do a good version.
Hey Luigi, we gotta get the princess. It's gotta be. There's only one voice for Mario. It's gotta be Charles Martinet.
I agree.
It can't be anybody else.
Or Tony Sanfilippo. Just saying, Illumination Studio, if you're listening, by all means reach out.
I can do other characters, but it's gotta be Charles because he does that and Luigi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will.
Wahoo!
So as we get more information, we will let you guys know. But that does it for TV news. Let's go ahead and go into our final segment of the show. We're talking video game news. If you have that button ready, and it's not some weird poll.
It's not some weird surprise, mother lover. It's loading. Sorry, homie.
Best laid plans, huh?
Well, I was trying to get back over to it, and it's just not loading. But here we go.
Maybe.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Eventually it'll play.
Hey man, you want to play some video games? Hey man, you want to play some video games?
Great Scott! Carol Baskin. Yeah, you cool cats and kittens.
It wouldn't be a Proton Pack show if it wasn't late and we weren't having technical difficulties.
Yeah.
But that's the way it goes.
Why of all things, man? This thing's been off all day. And it's just delayed. I don't know. Maybe I'll play with the soundboard and put it on something much more stronger than the iPad, I guess. The iPad's
there you go. Well, one of the things we talked about last show, which was about 2 weeks ago, we were excited for Super Mario 3D All-Stars to come out on the Nintendo Switch, which included Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy. Well, since then, it has been released this last Friday. We knew it was a limited release, so Tony and I both ran out and got it as quickly as we could. Brought it back, had a chance to play with it. I know, Tony, you dove into a little bit of each game, whereas I decided to start from the beginning and start with Super Mario 64. Want to get your impression first before I give folks my impression?
Yeah, absolutely. I can tell you this game is getting critically panned by fanboys. They're bitching about this game. For me, however, I'm a fan of 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. I think 64 definitely shows its age. what was cool in 97 doesn't necessarily hold up as well today. Still, I still like the game. I like that the textures are smoother. So it does look like graphically a little updated, but not a whole lot. And it definitely has not aged well in that department. Now, I'm still going to play it and go on some Power Star hunts because Mario 64 is a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Jumped into a level of Mario Sunshine. The graphics in that game, the way they've upscaled it from 480p to 1080p, beautiful. It's like replaying it for the first time. The cutscenes are still in 480, so those are a little on the wonky, choppy graphics side, but the actual gameplay is sharp. It's not as sharp as Odyssey, the Switch game, but it's fun. The only thing I got to get used to again is the flood mechanic, like the little water backpack.
Okay.
It's kind of harder to control on this than it was on the GameCube, because on the GameCube you could hit like the little yellow button and you can angle better. This one's a little goofy control scheme wise, but it was impressed with what I played. And then lastly, Mario Galaxy, what a beautiful game. Again, this thing upscaled from the Wii from 480 to 1080p, widescreen, sharp. Man, this game looks right on par with Odyssey. So if you never got a chance to play Galaxy, you'll be playing this for the first time. And what I like is there's a little mechanic. You collect these little star pieces and you could use it as weapons. And on the Wii, it was a little gimmicky. You had to hold the Wiimote in one hand and then the nunchuck in the other. And that's how you had to play the game. You had to use your Wiimote to guide the start thing. Yeah, but you know, as weird as that sounds, it worked well. But this, you just use the Pro Controller, and the Pro Controller actually controls the little sensor there, controls your Star Guy, and you just hit the right trigger. So much better controls. Played the first couple levels of that game. Love it. Holds up fantastic. Can't wait to play through it. My only gripe on this, my only big bitch about this game is where the hell is Mario Galaxy 2?
Right.
I don't understand why they didn't put that in this. I kind of feel like the menu and like it, for being a Mario 35th anniversary, all the extra stuff, like you can listen to the soundtracks of 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. Kind of a hokey option, but kind of a lame start thing because it's all just the bottom. It's really tiny and chintzy. Right. But overall, is it worth the purchase? In my opinion, yes, it is. Especially if you go to Walmart, $49. You can't beat it. It's $59 everywhere else. And it's just good throwback nostalgia. It's Mario. I mean, what's not to like? So I give it a thumbs up. I like it's worth the buy, and it's 3 classic games. What's not to like?
Exactly. I mean, I'm of the same thought that, they could have included Super Mario Galaxy 2 in there. My only guess there is that maybe they couldn't fit it onto the small disc itself. And maybe it'll come out as a DLC option a little bit later on down the road for, I don't know, $5. I'd even pay $10 to add that on. Unlike you, I have started from the beginning, so I'm into Super Mario 64, which I was a little disappointed that it wasn't a remaster. I would have loved to have seen updated graphics, and yeah, they upconverted it as much as they could, but it's still blocky and chunky, and gameplay, I mean, it's still about the same as I remember. I just cruised through the first sets of levels, just knowing back to the days of the 64 and going through, and now I've, headed down into the basement levels, which are a little bit harder at this point, but still a lot of fun. Like you said, I'm looking forward to go into the, these star quests after going through, but I kind of want to just get through this one so that way I can move on to Sunshine and then Galaxy, because I'm a little more linear with the way I like to play the games as opposed to hopping around. But
yeah, it's not a lot of fun to hop around. I had to do it just to try and see what they were like. But you'll be pleasantly happy once you're through 64 into those other two. I really wish they would have redid 64 too. I agree with you. I wish they would have built it from the ground up, given us all new graphics, control mechanics, and that would have made it that much better.
Right. And one of the wonky things about 64 was the camera controls. So I still find myself having to adjust the camera around to, what's going to fit for a given obstacle, which is a little wonky. But, now that I'm used to it again, it's easy enough to get back in there. And it's good to know that I can't just beat it in one day. I can't just sit there and, I spent probably about 4 hours on it thinking, oh, man, I'm cruising through these levels. But there's quite a bit more. So the replay bet value is going to be there. And then I never played Sunshine. I never played Galaxy on those other systems. So I'm looking forward to seeing those with fresh eyes and playing those. So
you're in for a treat.
Yeah.
Great games, man.
I give it a thumbs up. It'd be nice if it was a little less expensive, but like you said, Tone, with Walmart, at least you can get $10 off, and with any luck, we'll get a DLC of Galaxy 2 at some point down the road. Well worth it, though. I'm happy with it.
Lacey and Mike like it as well. Lacey said that the only thing she didn't like about 64, she cannot wall jump to save her life on Mario 64.
It's tough. I mean, you have to hit that jump button again. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's the damn camera angle, too. That just kind of gets wonky. And I mean, if you find small gripes, they definitely did a cash grab on it. It's a quick whip cash grab. It's not a well thought up compilation for sure.
No. But what did we say? Next spring we're getting Super Mario 3D
World that comes out in February. Yeah, and that's a hell of a great game from the Wii U. That's a fantastic 3D game. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's a good mix of side-scrolling and true 3D as well. So
I'm hoping they do another 3D kind of all-stars. What I'd like to see is obviously Galaxy 2, and give me the Game Boy 3DS games kind of upscaled into sharper graphics. Like they had the first Super Mario World, but it was called Super Mario 3D Land versus World. And they brought back the raccoon suit from Super Mario 3 on it.
Oh, very cool.
Now, I never played that game. And there's a lot of games like they had New Super Mario Brothers 2 Gold Rush, where it was all about collecting as many coins as you could get. And I never played that game. I'd love to play some obscure ones. Hell, I'd even take little side ones. You don't even have to upscale them much, but you could throw the old school Super Mario Land and Land 2. The 6 gold coins, those Game Boy games are sweet.
They were a lot of fun. And so moving on, and actually speaking of 3DS, Nintendo has officially ended production of the Nintendo 3DS family of systems after 10 years. So as first reported by Japanese Nintendo, the confirmation appears on both Nintendo Japanese's website and the Nintendo 3DS UK page, bringing an end to the story of the handheld system that has sold more than 75.87 million units. Nintendo America's 3DS page now just simply redirects to the home. The Nintendo 3DS was first released in 2011 at $250 and was able to display stereoscopic 3D to the player without the need for 3D glasses. It launched with games like Pilot Wings Resort, Steel Diver, and Nintendogs and Cats, and new service like Street Pass and Spot Pass, but it didn't quite hit the mark at the start. I've owned a couple variations of 3DS over the years, but I can see why they're killing it, Tone, just because the Nintendo Switch is essentially a handheld system and a full-on console all in one.
Yeah, they did best of both worlds. They don't need to focus on doing dual software for two things. I mean, you go back after the life of Game Boy, because it all started with Game Boy, and then it became a Game Boy Light, Game Boy Color, and
Game Boy Advance.
Then Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance was sweet for the time, and that eventually morphed into a DS, and then it was a DS XL, and then it was all kinds of different variations of the DS, and it was a bitch and sand. It was the legitimate of the handheld. I just feel it is that time where you have mobile device phones, you've got the Nintendo Switch. There's not a need for an extra portable device anymore. It just really isn't.
No.
And but they're quality games. I'd love to see these games end up on the Switch, though, on a service. And I was thinking this too, like they redid Link's Awakening, which was a Game Boy game. I'd love to see that in a Mario Land 1 and 2. I'd like to see redone like that. Would be
Absolutely.
And then you can unlock the old school Game Boy game just for nostalgia. But I'd love to play a more updated 3D modeled version. Would be sweet.
Now, my question is, Tone, with them, no more producing the 3DS, and we know that they're working on some sort of new version of the Switch for either next year or the following year. Do you think that they're going to incorporate that stereoscopic 3D into the new version of the Switch?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know about the 3D portion, but I think they're going to put in some more fun technology that's innovative. It's very Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's I think their big thing is now that they have the light, the Switch Lite, that was the one that's just on the go. You can't dock it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe for that, but not necessarily for the house, for the console docking one. So
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Now, you mentioned, if they could bring back some of the old Game Boy games or Advance or 3D games, what would you think if they included a new channel, if you will, for Nintendo Switch Online like they have with the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo games?
Would love it. I like what they do now. And what I love about this online service is you just pay the online service and you just get the games. Like, you don't have to buy these games. They're just there.
Yeah.
And they don't go away. They're just there. I would love it if they opened the doors and if they brought the Nintendo 64 in the mix, and the DS and the Game Boys. And I would love more Nintendo stuff on there. Absolutely.
Oh, I agree. And so along those lines, with Nintendo Switch Online, each month they release a new slew of games. Typically there's going to be like one of the bigger titles and then a bunch of little ones as well. Well, September 2020, which was this year and was actually set to release in a couple days, their online SNES games are Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Kong Quest, which was a fantastic game, Mario Super Picross, and the Peacekeepers. And then on NES, you have SCAT, the Special Cybernetic Attack Team. I don't think they
I'm the SCAT man.
thought that one. But all of these games will be available in 2 days from now on the 23rd. So if you enjoyed any of those games growing up, definitely check out Donkey Kong Country 2.
Never played SCAT, Mario Picross, and the beat 'em up one. Never played that either.
Nope, and I really have zero interest in those compared to Donkey Kong Country 2, which was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, Diddy's Kong was great. Yeah.
It's more of that rare, 3D version of Diddy Kong, but you don't get to play as Donkey Kong now. You get to play as, what was the female character's name?
Dixie Kong.
Dixie Kong. Oh, are they allowed to call her Dixie Kong anymore?
Dixie Kong, yeah.
Like the Dixie Chicks are just now the Chicks, and
yeah, yep, she's still Dixie Kong.
Okay. So online subscribers, look out for those in the next couple days. Now let's move on from the world of Nintendo to the world of Sega. I wish I had that soundbite on hand. And not
Othonic.
And the funny thing is, not directly video game related, but actually a book. So next year, Dark Horse Books will release Sonic the Hedgehog Encyclopedia in celebration of the character's 30th anniversary.
See what you did there.
Uh-huh. The book is currently available for pre-order from Amazon and will be written by Ian Flynn. Longtime fans of the Blue Blur should be familiar with Flynn's work. The writer previously worked on Sonic the Hedgehog series published by Archie Comics and writes the current series from IDW Publishing. According to the listing, the book will cover the series from the days of Sega Genesis through to the present, with in-depth looks at the characters and series lore. And then, of course, we will post an image of that on our Facebook page if we have not done so already, because that's what Tony does.
Yep.
But, yeah.
Hey, In Like Flynn, that's my favorite movie.
I was thinking more Flynn's Arcade from Tron, but...
Ooh.
In any case, if you're a Sonic fan, and many are diehard Sonic fans, this is a...
Oh, Sonic, the little adventures you'll go on.
A must-have, and especially, I'm looking through on when the actual release date is. June 1st, 2021, so it won't be available for the holiday season.
It's right around the corner, it's like... It's almost like 10 months away. You
I know,
know?
that's crazy that they put it for pre-order that early.
Yeah.
But
I heard a lot of big things for Sonic's 30th. They're going to be announcing some new games and stuff like that in the next couple months. So that'll be fun.
mm-hmm. Yeah, you know,
And you can't really get excited for re-releases of Sonic. I mean, it's on every system imaginable.
it's hard not
Like,
to
I
find
wouldn't be
it.
surprised. Yeah, I was going to say, I'd almost wouldn't be surprised if somebody put Sonic on the pregnancy test. Like on the Phoenix show we talked about, somebody putting Doom on the pregnancy test.
Yep.
Like, don't be surprised if you see a Pac-Man version, a Sonic version. Like, while you're waiting for the baby, like, to see if you're pregnant or not, Sonic's just running. And if he's like, boom, like, he just dies and he pops up.
Right.
Not pregnant, you know.
But
Now all the rings explode. It makes the ring noise. Pregnant.
now, Tony, on a weird little side tangent, if you pull up Sonic the Hedgehog in Google, when it pulls up that little side menu that tells you all about it, there is a little icon of Sonic on there. And if you click on it, he'll do his little super speed spin. And if you do it a couple times, he'll turn into the gold Sonic.
Really?
Yep.
I'll have to try that. It's
Yep.
just Sonic on Google, huh?
The other one you'll want to try out is Ross Geller from Friends. And there's a little couch on there. And when you click on it, it turns the whole Google thing sideways. And then it pivots again, and then pivot, and then pivot, and then the little icon breaks.
I'll have to find that. You just Google Sonic?
Yeah, just Google Sonic the Hedgehog, and it's right there on the right-hand side of the page. But while Tony does that, and we'll move away from Sonic and Sega.
I'm curious by that. Sonic, you say?
Well, within the last week, with our time off, PlayStation has unveiled details about the PlayStation 5 and the two models, pricing, release date, and so I wanted to run down some of that based on the showcase that they provided. Now, with the next-gen console release window quickly approaching and Microsoft already a step ahead on the Series S and Series X price and release date announcements, the pressure was on Sony to deliver the last remaining details on the PS5 and PS5 digital editions. So PS5 is going to be the full disc version. Starts at $499.99, which is right on par with the Xbox Series X. And the cool thing about that is backwards compatible with PS4 games. What did they say? About 99% of those, Tone?
99% PS4 backwards compatible. But then all the fanboys were disappointed to find out that 3, 2, and 1 were not compatible.
Well, you know, it's one of those things that you know, maybe down the road they'll include that, but you know, just the fact that it's backwards compatible to the PS4 is still a big step ahead from any generation before it. And then you've got the digital edition, which is $399.99, which I believe is $100 more than the Xbox Series S.
Yes.
So if you want the only pure digital version, well, you got to pay a little bit more. They also released some of the launch games that'll be coming out. For instance, Final Fantasy 16, which looks absolutely beautiful. Spider-Man.
Great graphics.
Yeah, Miles Morales, which, you know, if you're a fan of the PS4 Spider-Man game, this is a continuation of that. Again, looks beautiful. Gameplay is awesome. Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy, which, not super excited about. Call of Duty.
No, but if you're a Harry Potter fan, you might like it.
You might, but the graphics don't look as great as I hoped they would be.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which, I mean, it looks like a flat-out war movie. Looks very cool. If you love the Resident Evil games, they've got Resident Evil Village, which is sort of a departure from the zombie-type games. Looks freaky as all hell. Deathloop, have no idea what that game is or what it's about. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, again, coming from, was it Square Enix that made Devil May Cry?
Capcom.
Beautiful graphics.
Surprisingly.
Yeah. Oddsworld, Soulstorm, and Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. I know the boys will like that. We've got other series of games that are coming out as well, but I'd say it's a good start, and it's set to launch on November 12th. So less than a month away. No,
the thing
less
that
than
really
2 months
excites
away,
me, the thing that excites me was the PlayStation Plus collection. I mean, that's like their take on the like the Xbox's Game Pass, because I mean, you can play God of War, Monster World Hunter, Final Fantasy 15, Fallout 4, Mortal Kombat 10, Uncharted 4, Ratchet and Clank, Days Gone. Oh man, the list is long.
Batman Arkham
Knight, Battlefield 1, The Last of Us, Resident Evil 7. I mean, damn. And that's day one.
Right.
All upscaled PS4 games at no cost. Like if you have the service, there you go. You just exponentially have games just there. And plus the load times are supposed to be a hell of a lot better. And I got pumped up. I'm pumped up for a Sony system, man.
I am too. I diverged from Xbox shortly after the Xbox One, moved over to PlayStation 4, was happy with it, but it wasn't great. I am looking forward to this one, though, Xbox looks like it could be a worthy competitor as well.
Yeah, Xbox is definitely bringing the heat, man.
Yep. And speaking of which, so there's an article that came out that explains a little bit about how Xbox's backward compatibility will work. As reported by Eurogamer, Digital Foundry's Richard Ledbetter spoke to Microsoft about the Xbox Series S and how it will offer 1440p for the original Xbox and enhanced 360 titles, and 2 times performance on select Xbox One S titles as well. Original Xbox games will feature a 3 times boost resolution on both systems, meaning that titles targeting 480p on the original machine will hit a maximum of 1440p on Series S, presumably with a range of performance benefits. So it's nice that Xbox is going all the way back to the original system for backwards compatibility, upscaling the games. But at the same time, I think I'm still more excited about the PlayStation 5.
I'm excited. So the reason why I stuck with the Xbox One is because I thought that all my digital games were going to come over, and they didn't. Now, between the 360 and this, I have so many digital games that I can't ever part ways from Microsoft, man. I just got too much games with them. But I'm excited for both systems. Will I buy both systems when they come out? No.
Right.
It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like in time, will I have both of them? I would imagine so. But I don't need any of these right at launch. I know the PS5 pre-orders and everything have been a cluster, just really difficult, to say the least. And Microsoft, I'm sure, will make theirs easier. But what I quietly like, and it hasn't been officially announced, but Nintendo kind of hinted the day that the PlayStation 5 came out, or with their announcement, Nintendo kind of quietly mentioned that they're coming out with an updated version of the Switch sometime next year. It's going to be 4K. It's going to be more powerful, and it's still going to be the Switch you know and love. Like it's not like a brand new system. It's just basically an upgrade.
Right.
It can now just do 4K and stuff. So
Hey, sounds good to me. So in any case, I've already got the Switch. I've got the PlayStation 4, probably go on to the PlayStation 5. I just don't have time for anything really beyond that. So I don't think I'm going to be picking up another Xbox anytime soon.
yeah, it's one of those, what do you do with all these systems, man? Mike's going through, they're getting ready to move to Kearney, and he sent me a bunch of Snapchat. He's got bins upon bins of just video game nostalgia. And one, he had like a Game Gear, he had a Nintendo, a 64, a Dreamcast, a PlayStation. I'm just like,
Right. And unless you have a dedicated game room, it's hard to do anything with that stuff.
yeah, they just sit there. Like you can't really sit, but I have the Xbox 360 sitting like right there.
So
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the last time it's ever been turned on, but
well, in any case, let's move on. Tony, I'm going to skip the Star Wars one because nobody is nobody's favorite Star Wars character is C-3PO. Let's face it. Anthony Daniels has come back for a VR game.
Oh my, you're skipping over me.
Big whoop. All right. And the show's getting a little long, and I think we're getting a little on the tired side. So let's go to our last story, not only of the show, but also of video game news, talking more about our favorite mini cabinets and Arcade 1-Up. So Golden Axe and more Sega arcade games are getting the Arcade 1-Up treatment. The next mini cabinet from Arcade 1-Up features its first ever officially licensed Sega arcade games. The Golden Axe cabinet has 5 built-in games and a 4-player control deck. There's also an available custom riser, as is the case with many of their 3/4 scale cabinets. It features a 17-inch LCD screen, adjustable volume, and a light-up marquee. This one might be worth picking up. It includes Golden Axe, The Revenge of Death Adder, Shinobi, Altered Beast, and Wrestle War. And Wrestle War is the only one of those that I haven't played. I love those other games, though. So, I don't know. Might be the very first of a very expensive habit tone. They haven't mentioned how much the price is. The 2-player cabinets are usually $399. With this being a 4-player cabinet, I would expect to see it in the $499 or even $599 range.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And now everybody's getting in. I was kind of bummed today at Costco. We got an arcade cabinet today. Most of the stores, like in Idaho and Washington, got NBA Jam. Mm-hmm. We got Pac-Man. But at least it was a cool Pac-Man one. It was like Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man, Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Galaga, pole position. But, you know, that's not what I would jump to go buy. I mean, that's cool. But, yeah, Golden Axe one would be sweet. I still, man, every time I see it at Walmart, I do always get an itch for that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
I know. I like the Marvel vs. Capcom cabinet.
Yes. Well, if they do a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 one, I mean.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. There's some good ones out there. NBA Jam looks sick. And what's good is that one's Wi-Fi, so we could play it. I could play you.
Seriously?
Like, right now. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the first one that's Wi-Fi. Turtles is not even internet compatible or Wi-Fi.
I got to tell you, when I was standing at Walmart the other day waiting for the guy to find Super Mario 3D All-Stars, I was standing right next to the NBA Jam cabinet there. And, you know, if circumstances were different, it might have been coming home with me.
Yeah. Oh, it looks so good, man. So good.
Yeah.
NBA Jam is just a fun game. Certain ones are just good. Now, my only qualm with some of these, though, like for the price that you're paying, I really wish they gave you like 10 games per.
Right. Yeah. And it's,
you know, it's like a bigger package would be badass. Like, okay, you're being generous. You're giving me 5. It's more than 3. But, you know, if you're going to do a big street, because I mean, realistically, when you think about it, if you're going to invest in these things, you don't want a gazillion of them in your house because they're pretty big. Right. I mean, they're small, but they take up a lot of space. So you want to make sure you get some good ones. But Ninja Turtles is, it's definitely one that I do get the itch for when I see it. I'm all,
oh, I know. And I've mentioned it before. I wish they offered a true 1-to-1 scale on these cabinets. You know, these 3/4 cabinets, even with the riser, they're too small to stand and play, but they're too tall to sit and play. So it's, you know, I'm just worried about my back with it. But every time they announce a new one, it makes it harder and harder not to want to at least pick one up.
The Marvel ones are just crazy coming out. Holy crap.
Yeah. So, in any case, another one to look for those arcade lovers like us. And I don't know.
Lovers
I'm thinking
of the arcade.
Christmas or birthday, both are right around the same time. Yeah, I might get one. But in any case, folks, that does it for this episode. Again, we want to thank everybody who chimed in live, watched live, and of course, listen back on any of the video replays or caught us on podcasts. We love our podcast listeners. We love when you chime in. Check up any information that we send out on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Proton Pack Podcast. And we'll be back in about 2 weeks with another new episode. And in fact, I think Tony will be here and live and in living color.
Be live in the studio for that. So that'll be a good one.
Yep. Tony, feel free to take us out with anything you'd like to say. And of course, our outro music and sound bites.
All right. If it's green, it might be mean. And if it's yellow, let it mellow. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
I am hasta la vista, baby.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. Woo!
Honey, where's Fluffy?
Goodbye.